Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Meestar, and welcome to some World of Warcraft ASMR. Today, I thought I'd show you how you can farm Ravenholdt reputation. Ravenholdt is a reputation that you actually need in order to get the Insane in the Membrane achievement. And the only way that you can actually get it, past Revered, is to collect heavy junk boxes that drop off, or rather they are pickpocketed, by rogues past 55. Now, you can go and collect these junk boxes from different mobs out in the world, but it's easier to go and farm them in here. Lower Blackrock Spire is my dungeon of choice because it's pretty easy to navigate once you know what you're doing. But right up here, if you fly in, over here towards the entrance here, you will find the entrance to Lower Blackrock Spire. And from here, it's all a matter of stealthing and pickpocketing everything. Now, I am using a macro to help me better loot these quicker. So I will go ahead and make sure that I put that macro in the description for everybody. Just keep in mind, if you do use the macro, I'll show you here in just a second. It's right here. The macro automatically checks this for you, and you need to make sure to uncheck it before you start looting the boxes, or else it will auto-loot, and once you take everything out of the box, it disappears. The reason why you want to check the boxes first is because you can actually find some very rare things inside. Up until recently, Tibu's Blazing Longsword was a very, very sought after item, but I believe now there's a very similar, or I believe the same model is used now for another item, which made its price go down significantly, but you can still find some good stuff in there. Just make sure not to take everything out, or else the box will disappear. Now, once you actually get all of your boxes ready to go, and you want to turn them in to start getting the reputation for Ravenholdt, you'll want to go to the Hillsbrad Foothills. And in the Hillsbrad Foothills, there is Ravenholdt Manor. In Ravenholdt Manor, there is a gentleman there that you have to talk to in order to turn in 5 junk boxes at a time that reward 75 reputation. Now keep in mind, from Revered to Exalted, it's 21,000 reputation. So, in order to get from the beginning of Revered to Exalted, you need 1,400 boxes. I know, it's a crazy amount, but it's worth it. Plus, this is the kind of thing that I do to relax, something mindless, to forget about my day. As you can see, it's pretty easy. I have my pick lock macro bound to 1, so all I do is go up to them, press 1, tab, press 1, and I automatically collect it. It's pretty nice. Now, these mobs are usually anywhere from 58 to 60 elites. That means that you can come in here at level 60. It is possible to come in here while stealthed and still be able to pickpocket these people. But I found it's a little bit easier to have a little bit of a level advantage on them. That's why I have my rogue here at level 70. He's not, quite able to pick up and kill bosses, rather. But that's okay. We're not here to kill bosses. We're just here to sneak around, and collect boxes. There's another and another. Very nice. You want to make sure to loot, or rather pickpocket, every humanoid. That means all the trolls and the orcs in this area. Keep in mind that there are wolves that accompany the orcs. The wolves do not count for looting or for pickpocketing. I keep getting those two confused. And the last boss, Overlord Wormthalak, is not a humanoid. He's dragonkin, which means that he doesn't have pockets and therefore can't be looted. But all the other humanoid bosses, like this gentleman here, War Master Voon, can be pickpocketed, and he has a chance to also drop the heavy junk boxes, which is really nice. As you can see, I've been following a certain path because I've done this a little bit already. I've gotten kind of used to it. You can do a pretty quick run of this place if you know what you're doing. And if you do it at the right speed, you don't really actually have to leave. I'll show what I mean here in just a moment once we're done. Because if you're slow enough, then the ads, or rather the mobs in this area, will actually respawn whatever was in their pockets before, and you'll be able to start looting them again. There we go. So that's everything in here pretty much looted. So now we have to move on to the outer area. And I'll show you coming up a place to avoid, or is unnecessary to go through. So you'll want to go through these rocks. And up ahead, you will find more mobs, of course. Easy enough to pickpocket. Easy enough to move on and have a great day. Now, as for the turn-ins, if you were to say do this on Darkmoon Fair side, or when Darkmoon Fair is going, you can go onto the carousel and get a 10% reputation buff. Well, which will actually reduce the amount of boxes that you need from 1400 to 1275. That's because it gives you more reputation per turn-in. I believe instead of giving you 75, it gives you 83. Now you might be asking, why would I want to go through all of this? Well, it's not for everybody. That's okay. I just like the grind. And there is probably a better rogue spec that you can use to go through here. I believe the outlaw rogue actually has a talent called Hit and Run, which makes it easier for you to go through here because it gives you 15% movement speed increase. But sprint helps just as well. It's up every minute or so. Now, I'm told that these guys drop webs, or something like that. Some kind of rare crafting material that can be valuable on some servers, but I don't really bother with them. Just get past them, on to the next pack of mobs. And the ogres here as well also drop, or rather are I swear, I just can't get over the fact that I'm saying looting instead of pickpocketing, or dropping instead of pickpocketing. You want to go down this hallway. You don't need to go into this area where the scarabs are. It's unnecessary because you can't loot the scarab, and you can't pickpocket a scarab. Up the stairs we go. There we go. Loot you, and loot you. Now, if you're a person who likes battle pets, you might want to pay attention to this guy here. He actually drops a pet called Work Pup. And, well, I don't know if it's a good pet or not, but any collector out there, just so you know. Since that small pack there is done, we'll move back down the ramp at the other end of the hallway. And that guy there obviously doesn't have any pockets to pick, so there's no point in going all the way to the end. Back up into another area filled with mobs. There we go. As you can see, no shortage of mobs in order to pickpocket. We're actually getting close to the end, and I'll show you just how many boxes we've managed to collect. Keep in mind, 1,400 boxes, or 1275 with a reputation. Quite the grind. It's definitely earned that insane title. Here we are in the second to final room, I believe. Well, this is where the final boss is held, but I'll show you why it's the second room. Alright, we'll get past them. There's the boss up there at the top, but he doesn't actually have pockets, so don't need to bother with him. We'll go back out. Now, the area that we were at before was called Iron Summit. You can either hearth back there to unopen your boxes and mail them, because it actually has a mailbox over there that you can use. So you can go back down here. This is where we were before, and this is actually an ogre room. This is the last room here, by the way, and we'll go ahead and pickpocket all these boys here. Almost done, but yes, the Iron Summit area, you can set your Hearthstone there to have easy access to a mailbox, and you can easily get back into it if you choose to do this over the course of a day. And we pop out right back here towards the beginning. We'll want to go all the way over here back to the beginning. And I was saying earlier about how fast you clear this place could be important, and I'll show you why here in just a second. But we're pretty much done. This was one full run, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. It's not a bad run. Not a bad run at all. From my experience, you most likely will get anywhere from 13 to 20 boxes per run, and that run can take roughly 10 minutes. It's not bad at all. But here we are at the beginning, and I'll show you what I mean here. We got these guys before at the very beginning of the dungeon, and yep, there they are. You don't even have to leave. You can just start doing it again, because their pockets have all been filled up magically, and we won't question why, because that's just not what we do. We don't question things. We just pickpocket things. Now, let me go ahead and show you where in Hillsbrad you'll want to go to turn these in. Now that we're all done collecting boxes, we'll want to go turn them in. And you'll want to turn them here at Ravenholdt Manor. As you can see, right over here, this little path here, this area right here, you want to come and turn it in. Originally, this place was well, I don't know if it was the same way in Classic WoW, but Ravenholdt originally was a rogue-only reputation. As you can see, we have Mr. Winston Wolf here. We'll want to turn in our boxes to him. Now, this place doesn't actually have a mailbox. At least I don't believe it does. Let me just double check. Yeah, we don't have a mailbox here. So, a couple of good things to have, or rather have, would be something like this. If you're an engineer, you have Molly, which is a really convenient mailbox, and as you can see, I have a few junk boxes already waiting for me. Another thing that you can get is called, oh goodness, it's a whistle. I know that. Let's see. Katie's stamp whistle. Here we go. Now this has a 3-hour cooldown instead of a 1-hour or a 1-hour cooldown like Molly, but this functions just the same as Molly, where you're able to pick up your mail. If you don't have this, then over in Icecrown in Northrend, there is a place called the Argent Tournament way north. And there you can actually get an Argent Squire. If you do all the dailies there, then you can get a pony bridle for that Argent Squire that does the same thing as these two right here. And if you don't have any of those things, then it might be a bit longer of a trip for you. Anyway, what you do here is turn on all these junk boxes. Now, I've already checked these junk boxes, made sure that there was nothing in them. I did find one dagger, the Shadow Blade, but I already have the Shadow Blade. So, I can put it up on the auction house and make a little bit of money in the process. And there we go. We turned them all in, and we're that much closer to getting exalted with Ravenholdt. Anyway, I'm glad you all could join me for this little excursion. I hope you found it informative. I hope you found it relaxing. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.